You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
It's episode 2 time, and this week we have a podcast. Surprise, surprise, it's the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. Freaking figure it out by now, you barbarian, savage Neanderthals. Oh, man, I love to berate anybody that listens to this show, especially Bob Harris. Take your production quality and shove it up your ass. I'm in the wind, motherfucker. And loud-ass cars, because that's what I do here. Hey, I'm Ransom, and we're going to do a Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast episode. And some loud-ass fucking cars, because it's February, it's 60 degrees, and the motorcycles are out and about. Poot the Bard is joining us here this evening, as well as Tiger Bomb Tom, and that's right, everybody. Still, as of this moment, you can continue to bow down to the Lord and Savior of the Cruiserweight Championship, the Galactic Overlord, the Emperor of the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast, Beef the Legend. That's right. I'll never get tired of singing his praises, and you can go fuck yourself if you think you're going to take that title from him, because I won't acknowledge you. I'll acknowledge him, because he's not Roman Reigns. He's better than Roman Reigns, and as a matter of fact, if we're going to go down that road, he's better than you, and you know it. Let's do some Piledriver Pittsburghing wrestling podcasting talk here, you three.
I know it's been a week and a quarter.
Go ahead.
But I'm very frustrated that the St. Louis Battlehawk offensive line is this fucking bad.
Ah,
right,
yes.
so
the Pittsburgh Piledriver XFL.
Hey, man.
Welcome to Football Chat with Beef the Legend.
Hey, man. We get off topic. Don't you fucking start with me.
Speaking of off topic, let me ask you a question, Beef.
Yeah.
What do you think the odds are of Cody Rhodes winning the championship titles at WrestleMania, and while he's standing on the ropes, being all Cody time, CM Punk returns?
You're really going to get them all fired up now.
I'm going to do it.
There aren't many integers lower than 0.
Zero to fuck you. Let's go.
I would say pretty low.
Now,
I'm not saying that he won't come back. I just, like, right now he's under an XFL. Oh my God! Right now he's under an AEW. He's under an AEW contract.
Under contract with The Rock.
He's under contract with AEW currently, and they seemingly have no designs on letting him go. Even if they did, there would be at least 2 months-ish of a do not compete clause.
What if?
I'm just setting
Careful
expectations.
with that axe, Eugene.
Even in a perfect world, if CM Punk was free, I think the best and WWE wanted to be back in WWE. The best scenario is he shows up on the Raw after Mania. No way they would stomp on Cody's moment with that. No way.
Listen. Shh. What if Sami Zayn and KO take the titles and fucking FTR come back?
Again, Mania's about moments, man, and like all too often they don't like step on moments. Unless you're Hulk Hogan, and then you can fucking step on whoever's moment you want to. If you haven't been watching my WrestleMania series, I got another one coming out here soon. But yeah, I mean TLDR WrestleMania 1 through fucking 10, it's all about Hulk Hogan. Just like the fucking Skywalker saga, it's the fucking Hulk Hogan saga.
What if? Last one.
But go ahead.
Last one. What if Cody wins and the Raw after Mania, CM Punk doesn't come back, but Kenny Omega debuts?
That'd be interesting. I would absolutely be here for that. And I mean, so obviously that's been in the news. But I mean, like, I like to think that AEW is part of Kenny Omega's dream. You know, like it gives him.
It's part of Cody's dream.
Yes, but Cody booked himself into a corner, and it quickly turned sour for Cody.
Nobody books baby in a corner.
I don't think that's the case with Omega. I think Omega has a lot of freedom, for better or for worse, than Cody did, and even with an ungodly amount of money, I just don't think Kenny Omega would leave AEW. Now,
last one.
Never say never.
One.
Never say never.
Promise. Last one. What if? You ready? What if the Raw after Mania, we have the swinging open of the Forbidden Door, and we have an AEW invasion with Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and Chris Jericho all showing up on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, Ransom's lost his damn mind. Somebody's gonna have to throw my lifesaver. Yeah, I don't. You know, that has like a fucking like oopsilon chance of less than 0 chance of happening.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
The limit does not exist.
Shut the episode off, Poot. I'm cutting it off here on the YouTube. Shut it off.
Okay, done.
Speaking of AEW, they do a big show coming up in a week and such. Picks are next week. Revolution, which is usually the show of the year. Not just like for AEW, but just in general. Normally it is like the best pay-per-view of the year.
Is there a card yet or a semi-card?
There is, and I'm very lukewarm on it. So,
all right.
Here's what we're looking at so far. It is headlined by MJF versus Bryan Danielson in a 60-minute Iron Man match.
I'm here for it.
Iron Man matches are tricky because like they're basically one match cards. Now I know that a lot of places the main event goes, 40 plus minutes. I get that. But I think that they're kind of leaning pretty heavily on this one. Here's the problem. I have zero belief that MJF would lose that title. Zero. None. Nada. I think that Danielson gets a shot at some point, but it ain't now. So we also have the new tag team champions, the Gun Club, Austin and Colton Gunn versus the Acclaimed, versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, who won a tag team battle royal on Wednesday to punch their ticket, because, reasons. And Ransom's favorite, TBD, the winner of the Casino Battle Royal, will also join them.
8 points on TBD.
5 million TBD, points on TBD.
If TBD isn't FTR, fucking we riot. Moxley faces Hangman in a Texas Death Match, which is going to be right up what both of them are really good at. Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Jericho versus Ricky Starks, where the JAS is barred from ringside. And Jamie Hayter defending against Saraya and Ruby Soho. Now, it's likely to be added that we'll see the Elite defend against the House of Black, their trio titles.
Ooh.
But and we'll probably see some sort of fracas with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Best Friends.
Fracas.
Some sort of combination of Wheeler and Cesaro, or probably Wheeler and Cesaro versus like Cassidy and I don't know, Danhausen. I don't know. But like, I just this card doesn't have the zip to it that it normally does.
Wow.
And I think the two spots of weakness that I spot are the tag team title match. I like the Acclaimed. I think that they were better champions than the Guns are. I don't know why they took the belts off of them.
I feel like I kind of feel like it was just like a gracious thing for the Guns. No offense to them, but like compared to the Acclaim,
no, you're 100% right.
Like it was just a gracious, like, okay, here's your run. But like
this match is probably going to be a mess, and the women's title match. So I've said about 12,000 times that like I think that the top 3 women in the world in no particular order are Jamie Hayter, Rhea Ripley, and Toni.
Number 1.
I don't know why you don't have Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm here. And I know that they've faced off in the past, but like I think that it still has some legs.
Does Toni Storm get to be announced on the card?
Yeah, I mean, so like right now, there's this whole like weird, embroiled, like homegrown women in AEW versus women who came from elsewhere, and elsewhere meaning WWE. So like Saraya and Toni Storm are like the quote unquote the heels, the invaders, the ones who came from WWE. The homegrowns of Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, even though both Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter spent time in Stardom. And then Ruby Soho is kind of caught in the middle. Like, their rationale is like, yes, she wrestled for WWE, but she made a bigger name for herself here. Debatable. But, like, I just don't see anything that Saraya has done since her comeback to lead me to believe that she can participate in a great match.
Who called that?
And
you can gloss over it, but like I said it.
Ruby Soho. Who cares? Ruby Soho is a great hand.
Like, who cares?
But she's not somebody who can go out and have a banger of a match.
Not yet.
Wasn't there a ton of excitement when she showed up though?
It was a pretty big deal for the women's division.
It was. Yeah, it was a shot in the arm.
That was like a real big deal when freaking Ruby Soho showed up.
She got injured. That's the thing that's kind of the
killed her momentum.
Reason that killed her momentum. But then she just not long ago she had this banger fucking tag team match where she was where she was basically a big crimson mess.
Yeah.
So to say that she can't put on a banger of a match, I gotta disagree with you though, Beef.
But like that style of match, I don't think is going to be what we're going to get next Sunday. I just feel like those 3 women, it's going to be awkward, and I know that things are going to get shitty. That Toni Storm's going to make an appearance. That Britt Baker's going to make an appearance. That there's going to be a fucking ref bump or 7.
Turn into a schmoz.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see
and like, now. When you have legit one of the top 3, two of the top 3 women wrestlers on the planet right now, or at least in North America, in your promotion, I don't know how you don't book a 6-month-long feud with them and have it like pan out it all out. It feels like a wasted opportunity just because Saraya is like, this is my house. Like, is it though? Like it used to be.
Snooze fest.
Yeah.
It used to be. Yeah, like you used to be really, really, really good in the ring, but then you had fucking 15 years off or whatever.
Yeah.
So like you got to shake that ring rust off, and working 2 matches prior to a women's title match ain't gonna do it.
Nah, she's no Shawn Michaels. She can't be off for years on end and then just show back up and pick up where she left off.
Exactly. Okay. So
big ass loud car.
So that's got me a little bit down. But like Ransom said, I think that they're definitely Joe versus Wardlow if it actually goes to a decision, could be really, really, really good. I expect Swerve versus Old Man Keith Lee to be on the card. That'll be fun as well. So there are definitely some things that I'm holding hope for. But like, I remember, I think it was the first Revolution where it was the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros in the Escalera de Muerta match. And how incredible that fucking match
that
was.
just slithers out of your face. Ooh.
Yeah, man.
See, that's way better than Mountain Dew Black Death match death garbage death.
So like there's just nothing here that makes me go, oh yeah, this is gonna be. I mean, I guess Moxley and Hangman could tear the house down, but and I hate to be this guy, but I'm gonna be this guy. The fact that Moxley bleeds every fucking episode of Dynamite. He comes out for a fucking promo and suddenly he's a Crimson Mask. Like,
overdone?
He's flaring it up super. Dude, actually, the one was it What Culture Wrestling has on their reviews now on YouTube. They have not only their ups and downs counter, they have an AEW Blood Machine counter. Like that's how bad it is.
So like, and again, I appreciate that kind of thing, but like, fuck, John, go one match without blading. One match, even in a match with Evil Uno with nothing at stake, he fucking bladed. Come on, John. Come on, man.
There needs to be a good balance between the WWE style of no blood ever and get your fucking gloves out, and AEW where it's all blood all the time.
Right.
Find a balance.
Like, unless Moxley uppercuts Hangman Page into the pit, and we get a toasty.
See?
Like there's not much that the Texas Death Match is going to make me go. Oh. Now I could be wrong. I absolutely could be wrong. Also, Logan Paul throws a better buckshot lariat than Hangman Page ever has. Fight me.
Ouch.
There could be a gigantic, earth-shattering kaboom at the end of the match.
I don't think that's going to happen. They've failed so many times at any earth-shattering kabooms.
So it's basically Marvin the Martian. There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
There are definitely things to be excited about, but take the temperature with me. Like, do you guys at all believe that Danielson has any chance at all at winning against MJF?
No, God, no.
If it was against Adam Page when Adam Page had the title, sure. But MJF, no.
Yeah, it's a foregone conclusion. It's going to be a really good. It's going to be a really good fucking story. They're going to have a really great fucking match. But it's just.
But doesn't that seem to be like AEW's MO though? Like in a lot of title matches, doesn't it seem to be almost or not even title matches? Like there seem to be a lot of matches in AEW where we go into it expecting person A to win, full well knowing that person A is going to win.
Great match,
and person A does win. Well, yeah, but that's the thing.
But that's the thing, though.
What AEW does, like they put on a banger of a match, even though we know who's going to win.
It's not a poor payoff. The right person is winning, and like it's the right person because we're saying this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just like I don't know, man. I think that AEW is foolishly trying to like ride the coattails of what WWE did with Sami Zayn, with like creating that moment of doubt that maybe, just maybe, Sami Zayn's walking out of that title.
It's not going to work with
with
Danielson. It's just not. who's going into that match believing that Danielson's going to win?
Yeah, I mean, it never say never, because like this is absolutely like the kind of climate where that could happen, because it would almost feel apropos, because MJF comes out and he's like, hey, I'm not defending this title every month like everybody else has. I'm only defending it the Big Four. MJF is like, hey, you want to see me? Pay the money to see me. So like, and he talks about his what's he called it? The but like his big long reign that he's already established for himself.
Yes.
It would be excuse me. It would be apropos if he actually did lose to Danielson. And again, I'm not trying to like shift thoughts
You're
here.
not going to start going. You're not going to start going. But what if?
I'm not trying to like throw down, but I'm just saying, if there ever was a time for them to pull the whole, oh my gosh, I can't believe so and so won, now would be the time.
What if Punk comes back and they wind up making it a triple threat match?
I think that Adam Cole might be his next challenger, though. Like, I think the Double or Nothing might stack up to be a better card, just like projecting it out. If we get Adam Cole versus MJF, and if there's a snowball in hell's chance of getting Punk and FTR versus the Elite, like that sounds incredible already. So I don't know, man. I just like I'm just very lukewarm on Revolution this year, and that's disappointing, because it's usually been a top pay-per-view year in, year out.
Now, so taking a cue from how Ransom does stuff, I'm going to take a little sidebar here. So ooh. I'm seeing a lot on social media, YouTube, like pretty much anywhere, like any kind of outlet where you see like wrestling news reported. You're seeing a lot of people not turning on AEW, like going like, God, shit, it's garbage. You're not seeing that. What you're seeing is like people are like, okay, things are kind of like the MJF stuff is great, and there's a lot of great wrestling, but like there's a lot of people just being like, AEW's not hitting. It feels kind of hollow, and it's like this stuff, it's losing steam. It's it's having to fight like a Sisyphus-esque uphill battle. So, like, do you guys agree with that right now? And I understand, like, it's easy to look at AEW, see the caliber of talent, see the matches and everything, but I mean, on the whole, like, like having the Gun Club be there, it's like be the champions, like things just feel like it's kind of muddy right now. That seems to be the general tone from people. Like, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that that's true? Or do you think it's people kind of being like, not really understanding the growing pains of AEW? Maybe it's AEW not understanding its own growing pains, or why it's getting hair in that weird spot. But like, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think, and I've said it before, AEW continues to go out there every Wednesday night and have bangers. They have great matches every single Wednesday night. Every time I've ordered an AEW pay-per-view, I've never been disappointed with results. It's always been incredible, and it's always been outstanding. I feel like the issue is that WWE is suddenly competently booked. And so, like, when WWE was shit, it's easy to look at AEW and go, look how incredible this is. But now that WWE is actually being booked well, and we're seeing good matches, great matches, and we're seeing, really high drama, like, yeah, now AEW, needs to work, I think, a little bit harder. They're keeping their ratings consistent, which is at about 1 million. It dips a little bit here and there. Sometimes it bops up to 1 million too. but they're getting consistent viewership, which I think is what Turner wants, and they're happy with. And it's the old adage: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like AEW is not doing anything wrong. The worst thing that I think that they're doing is just they have a lot of talent that just needs to get on TV more often.
Go on.
Then a silence filled the room. Tom, what's your take on it?
I don't know. I mean, being that I don't watch the weeklies, I really don't have a take on it. So,
hey guys, Tom doesn't watch the weeklies.
What?
All right, I know it's the first we're hearing about it.
Well, no, okay. A
lot of us don't watch the weeklies. Like when I'm watching the weeklies, I'm always like gaming. So like I don't sit down and I don't watch the weekly play-by-play.
I don't watch them at all. Like I don't watch them at all. So I really don't. I don't have a take on it. I really don't. I'm lucky if I get to even catch the replays of like Raw or SmackDown or even NXT off of whatever streaming service. Like I'm lucky if I have time to do that.
That's fair. And like I keep up with the results. That's my big thing is I make sure to always, make sure I keep up with what the Haps is.
This is how I know what the Haps is. This podcast. That's how I know.
Get your knowledge from the P3, baby.
What do you think, Ransom?
About what?
About what Poot said. About, is AEW losing steam or, is that just a jaded fan perception?
I can see I can see how it comes off that way. Because I mean, let's face it, for such a long time, we had a lot of debuts. Like we were always getting pay-per-views, and at the end of pay-per-views, we get a nice big fat fun debut. And you're not going to get so much of that anymore because there's not a whole lot of people that are going to be jumping ship. There's not a whole lot of people that are going to be free to debut. So I can see how maybe some people would look at it and go like, oh, it's becoming stale because they're expecting that big, shocking, like, ooh, from an AEW pay-per-view. I do think it's a combination of WWE suddenly becoming competent, because think back of how many times we did a podcast and all we did was bash WWE and praise AEW. Mm-hmm. Now, suddenly, we have a lot of good things to say about WWE, and we still have good things to say about AEW, but I think in contrast, it's not as blatant as it's not as big a difference in the quality of the show anymore, because WWE is really good. They're doing a lot of things really well. So I can see how some people would go like, oh, AEW, not so much. I don't think they're getting stagnant. I just think that the product that we were comparing them to has gotten that much better.
I think that All Out definitely didn't help their cause.
No.
I think that they that they stepped in it, that they stepped in it real hard. I think that Tony Khan's fucking quarterly major announcements that are never, hey, we're going to HBO Max. Or hey, we're going to be on Honor Club. Like, I think that his propensity for being a showman hurts as well. Yeah. So like, and they are absolutely hitting some growing pains. Like they a lot of organizations have done a lot more with less. Now we know that they have the best heel in the world with MJF. Fight me, he's better than Reigns.
I'd argue one of the best performers. I didn't notice how I didn't say wrestlers. I'd even argue one of the best performers.
Agreed. One of the best wrestlers in Danielson, if not the best. You know, guys like Keith Lee and Swerve who can show it. The Elite who are, you know, the best. FTR who are fucking who knows where. That I think is kind of an idiosyncrasy for me. FTR's disappearance is very problematic because that is absolutely political. For whatever reason, the Bucks are not big FTR guys. And I don't think they ever have been. So, like, widely regarded as the best tag team in the world. At one time, they held, 3 different organizations' belts. AEW belts would have been a nice little, kind of like cherry on top, but they never got them. I just feel like missing the boat on FTR is souring a lot of people. So, there's definitely a lot of things going on that make me go, yeah, all right. But again, every Wednesday, they have a great card that always performs well. Every quarter, they have a great pay-per-view that always delivers on the action. I think the biggest problem, though, is that Full Gear was only kind of okay. Because we knew that MJF was beating Mox. That was apparent. But we also knew that Mox was supposed to be Punk. We knew that MJF was supposed to beat Punk. And, we knew that the Acclaim should have won, but they didn't. They won the titles like a few weeks later on I think, the Dynamite Grand Slam or whatever. So, at Full Gear, it wasn't good enough to follow up from All Out. And that, as much as we praise the 4 pay-per-view a year model, that also becomes a problem whenever you got a show like All Out that puts a black eye on yourself. And if you don't rebound quick enough with enough vim and vigor, it absolutely can start to stack up.
I agree. I think a lot of their problem. I think honestly the first thing that jumps into my head with them is that it's right now they're kind of do or die with being able to find their own way. I'm worried that they're going to kind of succumb to WCW syndrome, and I don't want that. And it's not a reality. It's not. We're not even seeing like early stages of it, but it's. I could see it happening. And like you said, Tony Khan's propensity for being a performer and being a showman, like that needs to be squelched. He needs to be a leader, and when things like Brawl Out do happen, he needs to bring the banhammer down. Like, he needs to step in. And because now, and I don't know if you would agree with me on this, during Brawl Out, if he would have stepped in and he would have like kind of put the kibosh on CM Punk, if he would have been like, listen, cooler heads prevail, he could have done it in an elegant way. And he could have been a leader. And if Punk would have gone even harder and thrown a little kid-like hissy fit, then it would have just made Punk look
would have been the bad guy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Punk would have been the bad guy, and he wouldn't have been.
It would have eliminated the gray area. Yeah, exactly.
And there would have been boundaries set, but he didn't, and he just sat there impotently You know, just like going, okay, well, this guy makes me money. I guess I better not. You know, blah, blah, blah. What's Punk's gonna leave and not be on TV? Look at where we're at right now. Like, I mean, so like the result would have been the same. So why not be a leader? Like I think that's part of the problem. I think like things backstage need to calcify a little bit. And there needs to be a little more structure. I understand the Wild West thing worked for them early on, but it's not going to work now. They have, again, it's one of those things you look at them and go, they have all the tools. All of them. They have all the tools.
Think they need...
And the thing is, you can lean on they have the best, like some of the best wrestling in the world. But the problem is, you need to have interesting characters. You need to like give people more space. You need to not lean so much on the stuff that brought you to the dance. Like you need to not lean on blood. You need to not lean on that like outlaw mentality. You need to have a little bit of structure, and it's growing up. I'm not sitting here trying to cornet all over the place, but it's true. I'm not like I'm not, but it's true. They need to just like have a little more structure, and like MJF right now, in my opinion, and this might be a little crass, is carrying them from a storytelling, character-driven point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot put the company on the back of one person. I mean, it's been done numerous times in wrestling, but like if you do that, eventually MJF is gonna just go like, fuck this, I'm gonna go get paid more. And he'll leave, and then what do you have? You'd have to develop a new ultra star and attraction, and I don't know. I mean, they have the people, but it feels like it would be a really hard climb to get back to that. That's kind of where I'm at with AEW, and I think you're right. Having WWE put on really good quality programming now, absolutely was a heavy right hand to AEW.
Like I I feel like the thing that I've always been a big fan of them for is like having a potluck variety. Like, if you don't like something, stay tuned. And I think that they still do that well. I think that they still have, like, enough, like, story-driven stuff, enough, like, technical stuff, enough high spot, enough, like, deathmatch stuff, enough, really good women's stuff, enough tag team wrestling. I think that they still do that. I just think that they're they're honestly still limping from Brawl Out. And I think the return of Adam Cole is going to help, which is coming very soon. So that's exciting. And I don't know. I respect what the Elite are trying to do with being the Trios champions, but I think AEW is better served with the Bucks as part of the tag team division and Kenny Omega as part of the singles roster.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
But that's, and again, like, we're not sitting here saying that we're down on AEW. We're just kind of talking about things that we see. And because, like I said, man, like you turn into Wednesday night, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. Like, I think that they absolutely can do more with Keith Lee, with Danhausen. Hook, I think, is going to be a big star. Things are clicking into place. I think that, again, we just need to realize that, hey, they're growing pains, man. Speaking of some growing pains, you guys want to do a Stump the Chumps?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Rude.
I know Maniac got us pretty good last time, so
yeah, he did.
Now
one more AWA question out of you, Pat. You're done.
You're dead to ransom.
Dead to me.
For whatever reason, he sent two questions. It's the same question, but two emails. So he got confused, and he had to tell me which one was which. And I'm like, all right, man. So come on, Maniac. Do better. Here it is. Labeled The Right STC question. Who were the 4 wrestlers that held the fucking ransom? Who were the 4 wrestlers that held the WCW Championship when it was part of the Invasion angle?
Well, Booker T, because he came in with it.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Austin. Chris Jericho. No.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Was it The
I
Rock?
apologize. Steve Austin. Yes.
It was The Rock. Yeah.
And then Jericho beat him to unify them, right?
Yeah, that was the first Undisputed.
And then, I mean, I guess you would technically count Triple H when he beat Jericho at WrestleMania, right?
Well, that wasn't considered the WCW title at that point.
Nope.
You're right. So then, Booker, The Rock, Jericho, and
Buff Bagwell.
Stop it.
Stop it, he says.
Buff Bagwell was involved in the title feud when that first, like that, you know, the episode where they tried to do the Monday Nitro. That was the main event of Raw that week, was the Nitro announcers calling Bagwell versus Booker T. I was saying Triple H because I can't, like, Booker T brought it in, lost it to The Rock lost it to Jericho. Like, that's what happened with the WCW World title during the Invasion.
Rock, Booker T, Jericho. That's for sure 3 of them.
And then, like, that. No, that's it. You know, unless there's a blind spot, like, that's it. And then Jericho lost to Triple H. Like, but you're right. That was technically the Undisputed title at that point.
So when he's saying, so when he's saying WCW World title, he's talking big gold belt,
right?
So
we're saying Booker T, Rock, Jericho.
There was somebody else. No, there has to be somebody else.
Trying to think of when
he's not saying Reigns. He's saying there are 4 people.
4 people. So,
what about who else was coming up during that time? There was.
I'm telling you, I know this.
When was
Booker T brought it was between WrestleMania 17 and WrestleMania 18. And it was actually between WrestleMania 17 and Survivor Series, because Survivor Series is when the titles were unified.
Right.
So Booker brought it in like May-ish. I want to say it was around May. Lost to The Rock at SummerSlam. Then they did the unification match at Survivor Series. That's where Jericho beat Austin and The Rock in the same night.
Well, when Booker T came in, I understand the first match he had was with Bagwell.
Yes.
But and he had the championship at that time, right?
Correct.
Didn't WWE like shit on that belt and hand it to someone else in the interim? Didn't they, like, they had Booker T beat Bagwell? And then didn't Booker T defend the belt against someone else in the interim between that?
He would have had to have.
He probably defended it, but I mean, he didn't lose it.
Didn't he?
No, I don't think.
I swore that WWE like pulled the trigger and put it on someone else, and then Booker T won it back. Because that like I was still, it was shortly after, it was like after the invasion kind of fizzled out is when I stopped watching. So like I remember this as like, I remember going like looking at wrestling and being like, my God, what have you become? Because that's only 3. There has to be someone else. And I think it was shortly after Booker T came to the thing. They put it on someone else for a brief time, and then he won it back.
Wait. Oh. Fuck. Hang on. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of another prominent person. What about Kurt Angle?
Angle was coming up during that time, but I don't.
No, he was involved in the WWE side of things, though.
Yeah, but
like
still.
Him and Austin were feuding for the WWE title. I don't think Kurt was ever WCW champion.
I think he was, though.
Oh, shut up! It was Kurt Angle.
It was Kurt Angle. The Rock beat Kurt Angle. The Rock beat Kurt Angle for the title at Survivor Series, and then Jericho beat The Rock, right? Am I right thinking that? No, okay.
No. Angle won it for a cup of coffee in Pittsburgh. Booker T beat him back for it, like same month, and then The Rock beat Booker T.
All right.
It was Angle.
All right.
I don't know why. I was thinking back to the invasion, and I know, like, I mean, I remember, Austin being a big part of it, but I was talking about all these names, and I was like, wait a minute, what about fucking Angle? And I remember, and I remember there being something wonky about, like, that. It was something crazy. It was like I want to say he had it like not even a week. Something like that. It was like in between, literally, like if he won it on a Raw, Booker won it on a SmackDown, or vice versa, something like that.
See, this is why I'm thankful to have friends, because I absolutely had a blind spot. I was damn certain it was only those three. So thank you all for having my back with the mirrors. But yeah, I'm absolutely willing to say that. And I think final answer here, right, boys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kurt Angle, Booker T, in no particular order. Kurt Angle, Booker T, The Rock, and Jericho.
Wow, yeah. Fuck you, Pat. If you all let Beef,
Pat.
If you all let Beef try to answer, you're braver than I am. The four wrestlers were Booker T, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, The Rock. Guess what, Pat?
Suck our dicks, you fuck man.
If this was you versus me, if this was you versus me, you'd have had me. You'd have had me in the first half. But guess what? I got my boys. And together,
better than the bloodline.
We ain't chump. We're champs. Tonight, you're a chump. Tonight, you're a loser. Because you get nothing.
Get a fucking Milkomania in your face.
That feels good.
That was the equivalent of a fucking Gronk spike there. Poot, take us home.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna thank you all for listening to the P3 podcast, Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast. Make sure you give us a subscribe over on the YouTube, and make sure to listen in the audio format. Anyway, make sure to also go and check out Casual Gaming Dad himself, Mr. Tiger. Tom, give it to me.
Uppercut.
Oh, Bomb Tom, and his page, Casual Gaming Dad, over on Facebook. Join Casual Gaming Dad's Corner. Lots of really great people over there and a really great community. Tom streams like crazy. Tom, what's your stream right now?
Been leaning heavy into Cult of the Lamb. Almost done with that game. Then coming down the horizon, I think we got maybe some Metroid Prime Remastered coming your way.
Nice.
And then coming up in March, a little bit of a new, well, not so new, but new to the U.S., Fatal Frame game, Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse.
Ooh, that sounds good. The Fatal Frame games are creepy.
Dude, they are fucking... That whole series has such great storytelling based off of a lot of Japanese folklore. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of survival horror. Go check it out.
There you go. Make sure you check it out and check out Tom's stream whenever that comes around. You can also find him over on YouTube. That's Casual Gaming Dad, and on Twitch at Casual Gaming Dad 84. Speaking of Twitch, you can find me on Twitch over there. That's Poot the Bard. You just search Poot the Bard, and maybe give me a follow. And I'm cooking up a couple other streams to do, and I'm really excited for when I get my computer upgraded, because then I'll actually be able to play some like relevant games. Also, upper grade. Go to gouldgaming.com. That's gouldgaming.com, and search on Casual Gaming Dad. Get yourself some tasty, tasty Casual Gaming Dad merch and your very own Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast t-shirt. It's official. It's valid. It fits great. It smells great. Smells like ransom. Smells like ransom. The musk. Anyway, thank you to Sean Tischler.
Don't go to Gold Gaming and buy anything from there. That's a farce. Don't go there. It's a trap. Go to ransomhouse.gov.uk.co.p3 and get a
.org,
because I don't have a fucking thing. So
it's just a picture of him flipping off the. It's just that. That's the page. It's just him flipping you off, and you hear. That's over and over. It's the modern equivalent of "You're the Man Now, Dog." So that's an internet throwback. I was there when the memes were created. Thank you to Sean.
It's an eBombs World website.
eBombs World. Jesus Christ. Oh God. My knees just turned even more into dust. Holy fuck. Thank you, Sean Tischler, for your work with independent wrestling in the greater Pennsylvania area. We really appreciate it. And of course, thank you all very, very much to my co-hosts here. But before I give the little outro, I want to have my own moment of zen here. On the day that we're recording this, which would be the 23rd of February, I'm breaking the wall a little bit. I want to send a very special birthday to my buddy, my biddy, my friendo, Mr. Brandon Apter. It's his birthday, everybody. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Bapter. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Bapter.
Happy birthday, Bapter. Bapter the Raptor, also known as my counterpart, Boot the Pard. If you go back on my YouTube, that's some deep cut stuff. But no, seriously, Brandon, happy birthday, Biddy. I love you very much. You're one of my best friends, along with these three guys, which, by the way, they are your reigning, defending, undisputed chooserweight champion. That's right. That's a lot of chews, slap nuts. Beef the Legend, Mr. Tiger Bomb Tom himself, our resident Madman Ransom, and myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, baby. Have a good evening, night, day, whenever you're listening to us. Thanks, everybody. Bye.